Okay, thanks. I'm going to be researching issues involving healthcare and just health in general. So first I'm going to go to Google. And I hate their new logo. And I'm going to look up. I know about Planned Parenthood, and I know that they've had some things going on recently where people want to defund them, and I'd like to know more about that. So I think I'm going to look up Planned Parenthood defund bill. That's one of the options, so I guess I'll look at that and see what that's about. In the news, there's an option on Google where you can look up just the news articles that are around, and I'd like to find something that I trust, something kind of like the New York Times or the Washington Post. There's something called The Hill. I'm going to click on it just to see what it's about, but I don't know that I super trust it just yet. I have to kind of look at the different ads that are popping up, the different things involving that. There was a pop-up, and that makes me kind of skeptical as to whether or not this is a super, not necessarily safe, but reliable source. So I think I'm going to look up something a little different. Maybe there's something in well, maybe it would be helpful to just go to the Washington Post or something like that. Maybe New York Times, but I'll keep that other tab open in case I need to search something. So New York Times, that's already an option, and I will search in it defund Planned Parenthood. See if there are any I want to look up more recent articles. I think that would be best. Or maybe, yeah. So, there's one that says, Senate leader, not enough votes to defund Planned Parenthood. It discusses Mitch McConnell and I'm going to do the Control F function if I can on this computer. Oh, I don't know if it will let me. Do you know if it lets you? Have you done that before?
Yeah, I do all the time, but I
Huh. Sad. Well, and I won't do that. Just see if I can find anything about Elizabeth Warren. I know that recently she's been pretty adamant about her support for Planned Parenthood, but also, oh, here's something about Ted Cruz. Okay. So I'm reading the article and trying to gain information or gain context about what they're talking about. See if I want to continue on in this vein, or I'd like to look somewhere else. In this particular article doesn't look particularly promising. I might search again within the New York Times online newspaper and just look up Elizabeth Warren. might add the other keyword of Planned Parenthood in there too to see if there are any articles that are recent enough. Some of them are more like they're from 2011 and 2012, but there is one here that I see from 2015. It says, it's from August, early August, and it says, Senate blocks Planned Parenthood defunding measure. Senate Democrats succeeded in stopping the bill on a procedural vote. 60 votes were needed to advance it in the 100-person chamber. It received 53 votes with 46 senators opposing it. So that gives me more of an idea of what happened. There's a subtitle that just basically says Angry Democrats, which is great. And it discusses why they think that it's needed, and it mentions people who were opposing it and who were putting forth effort to defund it, and just show who specifically which senators and which politicians were against it. So, still reading through that. And I think I kind of get the gist of that. So I'm going to go back and see about thinking about maybe looking up other health issues. I do remember that there's, on the Planned Parenthood website, they have a website strictly there to describe what they're doing in politics and what's going on as far as that is concerned. So I'm typing in Planned Parenthood and I'm clicking on their website and going to look and see if I can get to their they have a newsroom option. They also have a get involved, take action maybe is where I need to go. Yes, I am confirming that I'm leaving this page. Now it's being slow. Here we go. Planned Parenthood action.org. So this describes the different things that people are doing right now. It has the issues that concern, or what issues they're concerned with, and how we can get involved about them, and also the elections and politics included, which is where I would like to go. I'd like to see if I go to the newsroom, it might show some articles. And I'm scrolling through and reading that, and I think that I've seen enough of that. It also says your elected officials, which looks more like a zip code. You enter your zip code and then you can see who are in your areas and maybe in support of their program or what they stand for, which is interesting to read. So they have different levels. They have federal level, and then they have North Carolina, and specifically, which is interesting. Actually, I'm taking back my previous thought. I think this is more showing. It may be less people who are standing with Planned Parenthood, and maybe more people who are just the local and general representatives of this area. I came to that conclusion because it doesn't say blatantly that they are in support of what Planned Parenthood, what their mission is or what their purpose is. So, thinking maybe that's why. They have a couple different things on their websites, including Stand with Planned Parenthood, which I think has something to do with the fact that people are trying to defund it and render it void. Congress is moving to end nation's family planning program. I'd like to read about that. So, I think this took me to the wrong page. I clicked on a link that said take action. Maybe that's what it said. Stop them, that's what it said. This has to do with Title X. And I'm not super familiar with what that is, so I'm gonna go back to Google, where I was, and look up Title X. And it gave me a United States Department of Health and Human Services definition from their www.hhs.gov website. So at least just what I've been given is the definition, including Title X is the only federal grant program dedicated solely to providing individuals with comprehensive family planning and related preventative health services, which ties in exactly with what Planned Parenthood was saying, which makes sense because they're connected. So that's what I'm getting from this. I see what that is now, and I can understand why they don't want that to go away, because it's important to what they want, what their goal is. And they have a couple different things. You can go to the Wikipedia article on it, but I think I get it. So I'm going to go back to the take action, and I'm going to look into get involved. And they have an option that says campus, Planned Parenthood Generation Education, that I'm interested in, so I'm going to click on that. So Planned Parenthood's Generation Action Network is a network of young organizers and activists across the country who get involved, essentially, and this is interesting. It says you can look for organizations around you and in your area, or you can become a leader and see what you can do to impact your community through what they think is important, if that's something you agree with. So I'm going to go become a leader and see what they talk about in that. Youth Rising, Strengthening Communities of Color, Global Youth Advocacy Fellowship. These are all things that you can become a part of. I like that they offer that for people. And it was pretty easy to find on their website too, you know. Under the heading Get Involved, just go right to the Generation Education and look at what they have. Yeah. I think that's pretty much everything. Is that okay? It's about 12 minutes, I think, or 13.